Hey there, YouTube. It's Aisha, and it is March TBR time. So I've been doing really well with sticking pretty close to the TBRs that I have on my list and working my way through the books on my shelves. So I do have a few spillovers from last month that are going to work their way in here and some really good books to just dive through. So the first 15 books of the 30 books have kind of been picked for me because I'm reading all these challenges. So yeah. So the first stack are all Brenda Jackson. I plan to read these five, which are Finishing Hot Westmoreland Nights. Oh wait, is this the one I'm finishing? Yes. Hot Westmoreland Nights. And then we're going to start at the very beginning with Delaney's Secret Shake, A Little Dare, Thorne's Challenge, and Stone Cold Surrender. So I have the first few books in the series, so I'm going to read from the beginning to where I am in the series, which is like book 19, and then read from there forward. So yeah, that's kind of how I caught up on Christine Feehan books. So that's what I plan to do, is just keep reading, read from the beginning and read to where I am right now, and then read forward from there. So those are the first 5 books that I plan to read, which all, of course, check off my Brenda Jackson books. Next, I want to finish a series, and that is the Night Tale series by Nora Roberts. This includes Night Shift and Night Shadows, which are books 1 and 2 in the series. I read book 3 in January, unbeknownst to me. I didn't know it was a series. So I want to read these 2, which is so conveniently encapsulated in one book. And that will be my Nora Roberts challenge. Next, I have my paranormal challenge, and that will be Heather Graham's Keeper of the Night, which is the Keeper of The Keepers, LA, which is a book that I've had on my shelf for a little bit. I collected the entire series. So this series is a series that I've specifically collected because it's Heather Graham writing with several other authors, and I want to get the series read and prepped for Halloween because, you know, I love Heather Graham. I have so many Halloween books that I'm going to be reading. Paranormal is my jam. But this is a really good series that I've had on my shelf for the last year, and I want to get it read. So first step is to read the first book. For my new adult challenge, I'm going to read Confess by Colleen Hoover. I read Ugly Love, and if you've read my review, you know I loved it. Absolutely loved it, as well as my wrap-up of 2 weeks ago. Really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping Confess will be just as good. A lot of people rave about this, so I want to read this, and then maybe someday. For my 52 books in 52 weeks, this book keeps popping up, and I just am not, because I'm avoiding the real world, I haven't been reading any of my real world books, because I live in the United States, and self-care is important right now. Trying to avoid all the bullshit is essential. So I do that by reading and crocheting. So An Open Heart by the Dalai Lama. I think this is going to be extremely good for practicing compassion in everyday life. How to make it through the day without wanting to slap everybody. And so this is a library book purchase. And so I want to read this soon. This month. This one I had picked up to read last month, and as I said, I work in the healthcare community, so I already know what it's like to be Black in the healthcare community, but I would love to read this doctor's take on that. All right, and my next book to read is Black Man in a White Coat by Dr. Damon Tweedy, and this is reflections of being a Black man in the healthcare field. Working in the healthcare field myself, I'm pretty sure I know a lot of the things he's going to talk about. But it's still going to be interesting to see his take on being the MD versus working the other aspects of being in the healthcare field. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I just couldn't do it last month. I couldn't do it last month. I just needed a break. The first 100 days. They ain't even over yet, and I'm tired. Next, I have Sarah Dessen's Lock and Key. This is a leftover from January, actually. I just couldn't make it. I couldn't make it into this one. But as you can see, I've broken it down. So for the next, I figured I would take the whole month if I need to, or just 4 days, depending on how I feel once I get into it. So I broke it down into 100 pages. And the print's not too bad, so it might fly by. My sister absolutely loves Sarah Dessen, and she tends to like the same things I do, so I'm looking forward to that. Next is Aiden's Charity. This is the Laurel A challenge book. That comes after Jacob's Faith, which I'm halfway through. So I'm going to finish this and dive into this and hopefully continue to read excuse me, more of the Laurel A books. So hopefully continue to read more of the Laurel A books for the Laurel A challenge and knock these books off the shelf. So those are the definite reads that are on my list. Another read that is on my list is my random.org pick for the month, and that is The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. I've had this on my shelf for the past 2 years. I got it at the library book sale. I'm looking forward to reading this. And what else was there? There's a movie, so I want to read this and then watch the movie. Next, I want to read Death Comes to Pemberton by P.D. James. I've already seen the PBS show and really loved it. I thought it was good and kind of bad at the same time. I really enjoyed it, but I want to see how the book compares. And then I'm going to rewatch Pride and Prejudice and see if I think the characters line up. Considering it's supposed to be written years later, obviously, because they have a kid and stuff. But yes, so those are, and that's going to be my classic read for the month. It's going to be my classic read for the month. And that's pretty much it. I do have another challenge. I have the Christine Feehan challenge that I need to read a book for. I still have not read Shadow Game, so I think I'm going to push the Christine Feehan off a little bit till I finish the Laurel A one and at least get halfway through the Brenda Jackson one. Christine ain't going nowhere. Them books is on my shelf for a while. So yeah, those are some of the books that I want to read for the month of March. And then I have 15 books that I can fit in anywhere. Yeah, so see you guys next month. No, not even. See you guys next week, and I'll share with you my wrap up for the first 10 days of March. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.